Well, we now have the Managing Director Sales of Innoson Motors, Obumeme Osigwe, joining us live in our Lagos studio. Good to have you join us. Now, first and foremost, Innoson Motors is charting a new course of excellence. Tell us about the expansion plan the local companies have in now in terms of market penetration. IVM is really trailing the blaze.
Okay, good morning. Good to be here. You know, basically at IVM, we have an expansion plan for at least, we're implementing that of Lagos now, we're implementing that of Port Harcourt, we're implementing that one in Abuja, because we want Nigerians to be able to understand what we're about as a company, to understand that IVM typifies the Nigerian spirit, the doggedness, the never say die attitude of the average Nigerian. What we are doing hasn't been easy. We've faced challenges here and there. And why we are expanding now is because more Nigerians are getting aware, are becoming more aware of what we are doing, and it's important that we are closer to people, at least the commercial cities and states in Nigeria. We have expansion plan before the year rolls out, and we'll have some places like Kano, we'll be in places like Kaduna, because it's imperative that Nigerians see our vehicles, they see our showrooms and understand what we're about and appreciate that this is a truly made in Nigerian product. So within the year, with the commercial department, we'll be rolling out more expansion plans. But in Lagos, before the end of March, we'll be opening 3 showrooms in Lagos State, showing we are coming to Lagos State. We are coming to Lagos State so that people will understand that IVM is in the southwest, and Lagos will be the main hub for the southwest.
And talking about this partnership now with TVC Communications, how crucial is this, and what does this mean in terms of boosting local patronage?
The partnership with TVC is a strong and a good one. For TVC to come on board on our brand, to endorse our brand, TVC is a world-class brand. For them to partner with Innoson Vehicles is a very, very big one. It shows that they believe in what we are doing. It shows they believe in local production and local content. It shows that they trust the brand, because for them to get in on and partner with Innoson Vehicle is no mean task. And we are happy to have TVC on board because it's a sign of endorsement to what we are doing. It's a sign of encouragement to the average Nigerian out there that Innoson Vehicles produces quality, affordable, and long-lasting vehicles.
And during our last conversation, you made mention of the fact that Innoson Vehicles Manufacturing Company Limited, located in Innowe, is not an assembly plant, but a manufacturing company. Reiterate this, please.
Okay, you know, like I pointed out the last time, no vehicle manufacturing company produces 100% of its components. Some of them you have to outsource. We don't produce engine. We go for engine makers, top quality brands to produce the engine of our vehicles. We have one of the biggest plastic companies in Enugu. The plastic company services the plastic components of our vehicles. When you come into our factory, you see the manufacturing molds. For everything we do, you see the molds. And there is a percentage you do in manufacturing, then like 50 to 60 components of the car are being done in Onewi. And people who have doubted us, we've opened the gates of our factory for them to come. We've had the vice president visit. We've had many state governors visit. We've had many celebrities. And I'm sure TVC have visited the factory in Onewi. You will see the vehicle manufacturing process from scratch to finish. We'll show you where the metals are being molded. You see the metal sheets before they go into the mold and all those things. And good thing, we've made, each day we're trying to improve on what we are doing. We've moved from manual vehicle production to automated, making it more efficient and making it more easier, reducing time we spend in producing manually in our factory in Nnewi. So anybody that has doubts, we always welcome them to Nnewi to come and see what we are doing for ourselves.
Anybody that has doubts definitely has to visit the IVM Company Limited's manufacturing center in Nnewi. Thank you very much for your time, Obumeme Osigwe, the Sales General Manager of Innoson Motors. And joining us now live in our Lagos studio, we have the General Manager Sales, Innoson Motors, Obumeme Osigwe. Good to have you join us. Now, talking about how to improve on local patronage, there's no doubt we have to talk about how the affordability comes into play and also fuel efficiency. What is the cutting edge for IVM Motors?
Okay, because we're a local manufacturer and we are striving every day as a company to produce quality and affordable vehicles. And I make bold to say that our vehicle in Nigeria today are the cheapest you will find.
Talk of the Cherokee bus.
The Cherokee bus is a 15-seater bus, lovely, fit for transportation, and look at the price of that vehicle. Compared vis-a-vis with buses of that caliber in Nigeria, we are shading almost 5 to 6 million naira on other buses in Nigeria. And Nigerians want our vehicles to be more cheaper. Obviously, we'll take that into cognizance in what we are doing. But I want Nigerians to be patient with us. We are striving each and every day to see how we can produce cheaper, but afford cheaper and more quality vehicles for them. You know, let me tell you something. Before we had the economic issues in 2015, 2016, as a company, we are planning to produce the first 1 million naira car in Nigeria. But after that issue, it was no longer feasible. But today we have a vehicle, IVM Connect, for 3.5 million naira. We have an IVM Smart, is a multi-purpose vehicle. It's a 7-seater vehicle. Lovely vehicle, fit for family use. That car is in the region of 4.5, 4.8 million naira, depending on the spec. And we have our IVM cars that can compete with any vehicle out there. It's a luxurious sedan vehicle. You see, at IVM, look at the pickups the police are using as well. Compared to other brands, we are giving them like a lot of 4 to 5 million naira difference, because we understand and we are striving hard so that the average worker out there, until they're able to afford our vehicles, will not stop looking at means and avenues to make our vehicles cheaper.
Let's talk about the aesthetics of your brand now, looking at the interior and exterior. What makes it quite unique? Because from the shocks to the engine capacity to the leather seating and a whole lot more. Let's talk about it. Those are the juicy areas so many people want to know about.
You know, we know the peculiarity of Nigerian roads, and we pride ourselves that we take those into cognizance while producing our vehicles. Our shocks are reinforced, fit for Nigerian roads. I wish you've driven an Innoson vehicle and been in a bump or something. You will literally feel the impact. Our driving arms
are quite sturdy.
Yes, our driving arms are built strong. Our shocks are reinforced. Just so we are doing all these things to make the driving experience of the average user of IVM vehicle more worthwhile and more fulfilling. You understand? And the leather interiors of our vehicles are top notch, and it can compete with anything you see out there in the world. And I'm sure you've seen them when we are doing the presentation.
I definitely have sat in one and gone on several assignments in one, and I can attest to the fact that the shocks are very good. But talking about fuel efficiency now, across from the Cherokee bus to the G40 to the Caris, what are the variations we have that is the selling point for Nigerians to key into?
We as a company, we follow the latest trend in the world. Our cars are not guzzlers by any standard of it. Our cars are very fuel efficient. I remember some of these technologies are not our technology, and we keep improving on this technology. Our cars are very fuel efficient. I use an IVM G5, and I know the fuel efficiency is nice. And the IVM Connect I told you about, it's a 1.5 liter engine, and the fuel efficiency is top notch. The IVM Smart, most of our vehicles, apart from the bigger buses, but if you look at even the numbers of the bigger buses, I was looking at the comparative analysis vis-a-vis the other vehicles. The fuel consumption is still way cheaper than some of the imported vehicles you have in the country today.
Thank you very much for your time. And joining me now live in our Lagos studio is the General Manager, Sales of Innoson Motors, Obum Osigwe. Good to have you join us. Now, let's talk about the expansion you've had so far. The track record has been quite impressive. And just recently, we had the Standard Organization of Nigeria giving Innoson Motors a stamp of approval, saying that, yes, you have the certificate for the Standards Assessment Conformity Certificate. How does this come to you?
It's a big one for us. It's an endorsement to what we are doing in the Navy, and because for them to issue that certificate, they've gone through our processes, gone through our quality control processes and all those things. They've seen that we confer to world best practices when it comes to vehicle manufacturing. So it's a good one. It's a big one for our company. It's a big endorsement showing that we are doing things the right way and in the right pattern. So it's a welcome development for Innoson vehicles.
And talking about endorsements as well, you've also had quite a partnership with different states and federal government and other officers at high levels. And you've also had brands like TVC Communications, you've had Shell and a whole lot more partnering with you. What are your expectations now in terms of a warmer embrace of Innoson Vehicle Manufacturing Company Limited?
You know, you talked about the top rank of the military. The official vehicles are Innoson vehicles. They use our state-of-the-art GAT. You see the police using our pickups, the road safety using our pickups, and civil defense. Recently, the Kwara State government acquired fire trucks from us. Enugu State government acquired security pickup trucks from us, fire trucks. Anambra State government patronizing as well. These agencies, these state governments, these are seal of endorsement one way or the other. And the more the patronage, the more Nigerians are becoming aware of Innoson vehicles. I'd like to give you an instance. I don't want to mention the state. The governor came in and went to buy another brand of pickups. And there was an outcry from Nigerians saying that Innoson vehicles is not too far from that state. Why would he buy this brand and not Innoson vehicles? Nigerians have been very supportive, encouraging whoever, whenever, wherever to buy Innoson vehicles, because this Innoson vehicle is our own. It shows the Nigerianness in us. It shows the never say die attitude of Nigeria, that we can do things on our own. We can decide to do things differently if we put our mind to it. So Nigerians have been very supportive, and we don't take their support for granted. That's why we keep working day and night to ensure that we meet their requirements and their standards.
And the partnership between TVC Communications and Innoson Motors definitely shows the quest for excellence, which is ever ongoing. But now, before we wrap up the conversation at this point in time, what are the plans for expansion outside Nigeria? Yes, you have highlighted some plans for Lagos, the service centers, and a whole lot more. I hear you have sales in Ghana, in Senegal, and a couple of other African countries.
We have a partnership going on now with the Sierra Leonean government. We have with Rwanda. We have our vehicles being sold in Ghana. So it keeps getting better. More African countries are calling in, sending emails, looking for how we could come together to do, form some of partnership for Africa.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Obum Osigwe, the Sales General Manager of Innoson.